Okay, so first off, can you talk us through a bit the playwright's process and when they get to the point that they need to get it off the computer screen and see it in an actor's body or hear it, and what that does for a playwright?
Oh, it's so lonely being in the room with a computer and nobody else, and the voices in your head. And you kind of want to feel seen and hear those voices outside your head at some point. And best thing to do is get a group of actors together and sit around a table, maybe go into a small theater space with folding chairs and just let people read it through. And we'll call that a reading. Sometimes it may be a little more elaborate. We'll call it a workshop. But we are devoted to the people, the actors, might be somebody who owns a theater or has a regional theater. The people who give us the space and the personnel to do that, we are grateful to forever.
Have you ever seen a play go through that wasn't workshopped or anything? Does this happen, or is it an integral part of the process?
I think that would be like doing the triple somersault without a net, 30 feet up. There may be some daredevils who want to try that. I wouldn't, and I've really never heard of anybody who would just kind of finish the play and rent a theater and put it on.
Okay. So we have stage readings and we have workshops. What's the difference, or what's the definition of one and the other? And how muddy is it?
Yeah, it's muddy. It's coffee muddy. The reading, to me, you have the script, the actors have the script in their hands, so they actually are reading. The workshop, they could have the script in their hands, they could be on their feet, there could be some staging, maybe even throwing some lights on. I generally, to me, it's almost, well, the reading is when you're under fluorescent lights or room lights. And it becomes a workshop when the audience is in the dark and there's some light being shined on the actors. That to me is the difference, because you're kind of in even the most rudimentary theatrical environment is audience in a darker place than the actors who are lit. This is my own personal definition, and there are plenty of other points of view on this. But that's what I'd say, yeah.
How does Actors Equity support this, the need for these readings and these workshops?
Actors Equity, at a certain level you're using equity actors, and there might be a contract, depending on the city you're in, to do a workshop, and this would mean a small stipend to the actor, and you're entitled to use equity level professional actors. Now, more and more often there are college workshops, especially for new musicals, and I'll go to a college campus. Those aren't professional actors, but boy are they enthusiastic. So if you don't get experience, you get college student enthusiasm. There's no unions involved there as far as the actors, because they're kids, they're starting out. But there's something to be gained from that too.
So with the college you can go, it's not a 30 and under, right? I mean, at the college you can go for several weeks and really work it.
Yeah, in fact you do go for several weeks because your actors have classes during the day.
Yes.
So it kind of gets in the way of your workshop a little bit, but that's what they're there to do, is to go to class and study. So you're kind of on a college theater schedule that you're doing your rehearsals after class on weekends, and that's when you're doing your workshops. So there's a whole different kind of process there.
Okay. Do you typically try to do both? Like one you can have more time and develop, or do you do one or the other, or does it just, each one's different?
Yeah, every project comes with its own opportunities. I think if you're working on a big new musical, you might want to go to the college because there's so many people. It's almost easier to gather together your personnel from the pool at a college.
And are they usually start and all the talent that you need to actually have a meaningful experience?
Yes, and in fact, you could get spoiled by college facilities. They can be a lot more modern and up-to-date and high-tech compared to an old theater and a regional theater that's been around for a long time. And they're still having meetings about whether they could put a computerized soundboard in. So yeah, colleges really bring in a very strong element to the process.